Hey, today we're going to talk about how to do web design. And in this video, we're going to talk about what web designers do, what do they actually do, and whether you should become a web designer. So now, if you watched my video on web design versus web development, you'll already know a couple of things in this video. If not, you can check it out. I'll include a link in the description below so that you can check out that video. Okay, so let's ask the question, what is web design? So, web design is when we're talking about websites here. We're talking about creating websites. However, there is a difference between web design and web development. As a quick review here, web design deals with the design of things, and web development deals with the development of things. Just like if you're building a house, if you're building a house, the structural integrity, the kind of materials being used, that's all development. But if you care about the way the paint color, the designs, if you're going to add flowers on the designs and so on, that is the design. And same on a website. Design deals with the aesthetics, deals with the looks, deals with how shiny and sparkly the website is, while development deals with the back end. It deals with the structure, the coding being used. So when you're talking about web design, which is what we're focusing on today, you have to understand that it is not coding. This is not coding. Yes, it's nice to know some code, but web design itself is not coding. It's also not 100% design. It's not all just design. It's kind of in the middle between these two, but more of the design side. So you need to know a little bit of code, very little bit of code, and you have to have a bunch of design skills. So let's say if we were going to draw this into a chart, this is the amount of code that goes into it, and this is the amount of design skills that come into it. It's a little bit of both. Now, when you're doing web design, you're creating a website, and a lot of the times we hear about these things called themes. Themes. And these themes are like templates. These are cookie cutter templates. So all you have to do is, this is a cookie, whatever. All you have to do is get a theme or a template and use that. And you just have to make customizations on the theme or the template you're using. So if this was a cookie cutter template, you know how they have those, like those polvoron things, those polvoron templates where you just put the powder in and then you heat it up and then it becomes polvoron, but it's this kind of circular thing that you put the powder in and then it's a perfect oval. Then that is the template, and you do your customization. So maybe you're going to add some sprinkles, maybe you're going to add I don't know, some frosting, or maybe you want to put a smiley face on your polvoron, and that is the customization part of it. So this is what most web designers do. They get a template, they just buy this template over here, or they use another template, and then they customize for a specific website. So if there's a template that looks like this, a lot of websites look like this. They have a big image here, they have some text here, they have some text here. Maybe you're going to customize it. Maybe you're going to change the color here. You're going to change the picture here. You're going to change the font here. You're going to add a little bit of more text here. And that's what web designers usually do. They customize templates. But in order to do that, you have to have, like what I said, a big know-how about design. So this includes things like colors. This includes fonts. This includes layouts. and a little bit of code, because some of these things are in line with code. So, like I said, a little bit of both design and code. All right, so why do companies hire web designers? Well, a lot of our clients, they can already create their own website. And it's very simple to just get a template and install that template on a website. But sometimes these clients, they don't have the time. They don't have the time to learn how to do it, or they might want something a little bit more customized. Maybe they want to change the color and they don't know how to. And that's when they hire the web developer, which is you. You look the same as the client because you're both human beings. They hire the web developer, which is you, to create the website for them. Especially as a company grows, it will want more and more and more and more customizations. And that's when a designer will come in. And sometimes you also, as the company grows bigger and they want more features on the site, that's when the developer comes in as well. Because as a designer, you don't recreate features. You make it look nice, but the features, that's all the developer. That's what the developer does. Now, if you're thinking about doing web design, why should you do web design? What's the reason you'd want to do web design? Well, it's fun, especially when you're new to it. It is very fun. After a few years, anything can get a little bit boring, but especially for the first few years, it's very fun. It's very challenging when you're trying to create something that looks very nice and beautiful for clients. You deal with new businesses a lot as well. So that adds to the fun and challenging factor. Today you might deal with a dentist, next month you might deal with a public speaker, the next month you might deal with an Amazon seller. So it's very fun, very challenging in that way. When you're doing web design, you're able to focus on your design skills, your creative skills. So if this is important to you, then web design might be a place to look at. And you learn some technical at the same time. Now, a word of caution here. I want you to be careful here. If you don't really know, if you're not a good designer, web design might not be the area for you. Because I see a lot of people who think they're good at designing websites, but they need to practice a lot more before they start offering their services. So just want you to be careful there. Now, if you do want to become a web designer, what do you need? What is it you need? There are some tools, there's some skills that you may need here. So what are the tools and skills that you need? Well, tools wise, you just need a computer. Of course, you cannot do this on your cell phone or your tablet. You cannot design websites there. So you need a computer, and you need internet. And a basic text editor, and that's it. You don't need to know things like what's that called, Dreamweaver, or these other different things. You don't really need to know those, because the really good web designers are able to know enough code that they can just create websites in a text editor, such as Notepad++. You can download this, it's free. That's ++. I use Sublime Text. And your computer doesn't need to be very, very fast. As long as it can load websites, then usually that's okay. Now, skills-wise, what do you need skills-wise? As we already mentioned, you need to have design skills. That's very, very important. The code skills, not just very little. You can just have very little coding skills. In fact, this is very easy to learn. The code that you need for web design is very easy to learn. You'd need some HTML, some CSS, maybe some JavaScript, but even I'm not very good in JavaScript, and I've designed a lot of websites. And Another important skill for you to learn is WordPress, because it's the most common website engine used right now, website system, so it's good to know WordPress. Okay, now if you want to learn more about web design, then we do have a free course. It's called well, just head over to this website /free wfhro-free web design course, and you can go on, you can find jobs in a lot of different places. Start looking on Upwork, but there are jobs everywhere. Okay, so I hope this gave you an insight as to whether web design is a right area for you to explore. And if you want to learn more, just head over here. I'll include the link in the description below as well. I guess I'll talk to you later.